Road trip?
Road trip!
Road trip!
It's not a very... It's not a very long trip. It's inside the division.
It would not. We're just taking a quick drive across the state.
Straight down the 90.
Straight down the 90. Okay. Welcome to the premiere episode of #RoadTrip, where we venture out of Buffalo and talk about the other 31 NFL teams.
And we're going to talk about how Adam Gase is clearly a lizard person. I want to thank Nate Geary for that, because he posted that on Twitter. He was like, Adam Gase is a lizard person. Like, I was like, yes. Adam Gase looked like he was breathing through his eyeballs.
Aside from the lunatic in the press conference balding, I said twice last year when the Bills played the Dolphins. I like Gase's play call. I like what he did. He had, I mean, at one point he had Kenyon Drake on. He figured out that the Bills were dropping their defensive ends to cover the running back. He had Kenyon Drake on Shaq Lawson. That's a win.
Oh, big
that's
time.
a win for the Dolphins.
Absolutely.
So as far as that goes, he never had any consistency with Tannehill. Mm-hmm. He comes over to the Jets, where you just drafted your quarterback.
Yep.
Sam Darnold. He had a pretty good year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for the Jets.
Well, as rookie quarterbacks go.
Yeah. There's always those bumps. There's always trying to get acclimated. As we get in an accident.
Snowpocalypse 2019! Collect your women and children!
Who wouldn't get in an accident on a road trip? The Jets have a coach now, and their defensive coordinator is? Gregg Williams.
Oh, Gregg Williams.
Okay, Gregg Williams. So what you have now is a guy that could solely concentrate on the offense, and a guy that is a lunatic as far as the defense goes. Mm-hmm. Jamal Adams is going to love Gregg Williams. He's going to absolutely love that guy.
Those defensive ends that the Jets have been drafting for the last 4 years,
they're going to love it now.
They're going to love it.
They're going to absolutely love it. So I think as far as the Gase hire goes, I think it's kind of, you're getting a really solid offensive-minded play caller. Mm-hmm. Now in that division, Brady's aging. The Bills have a defensive-minded head coach. Mm-hmm. And the Dolphins are going to be, they're like lost. I think they're lost now.
Yeah, it's, I think that the Jets hiring Gregg Williams was the perfect counterpoint to Gase.
Yes.
Because, there's been talk that Gase really can't control a locker room. Williams will take care of half that team.
He will. And in New York, Gase, it takes some of the heat off of himself as well. Yeah. Because Williams will give the sound bites.
Right.
I don't know if you remember this, but back in 2006 when they were in Super Bowl weekend, Gregg Williams was defensive coordinator of the Saints. He gave bulletin board material basically to the Colts. And the next morning, Sean Payton ordered a sleeve of saltine crackers and peanut butter with a spoon for Williams. He goes, I basically told him to shut up, okay? So that being said, he's going to be the boisterous, loud, defensive coordinator that's going to end up commanding a lot of attention, leaving Gase to call plays, to take care of the offense, to take care of Darnold. We have that one-on-one time. So, as a Bills fan, I'm a little worried about it.
Well,
if I was a Jets fan, minus the lunatic, he did pretty well. He's a pretty good offensive mind coach.
The Jets are in an interesting situation because of the state of the offense, right? So you have kind of running backs. Like, I like Elijah McGuire a lot.
I do.
I like Elijah. He just, for some reason, hasn't really broken through.
Well, he's a mismatch guy. They've had 2 offensive coordinators in the past 2 years. So that's been the problem. You don't have any consistency on that.
Yeah,
offense.
I see that. The Jets are in an interesting situation with the free agents, right? Because they've got talent on the team. It's not from lack of talent. It certainly isn't. It's their offense has struggled because, again, they've had Todd Bowles as their head coach. And Bowles was a very heralded defensive coordinator, don't get me wrong, right? And I like Todd Bowles as a defensive coordinator. I don't think I ever saw any time on the sideline where he actually talked to anybody. So I'm not sure what he did. Every time they panned to Todd Bowles, he was chewing gum and smiling. That was it.
I really think a lot of that was I really think a lot of that was Bowles' temperament and his personality. Because in New York, you'll get eaten up.
Oh yeah.
If you're too high, too low, anything like that, you'll get eaten up. So I think what drew him to New York and what drew him there was his temperament.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy's not going to get he's unflappable.
He's the opposite of Rex Ryan in that respect.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the opposite of Rex Ryan.
But they soon realized that he doesn't react to anything.
No.
What'd they say? Todd Bowles has that look on his face that, like, when you just get your Verizon bill every Sunday.
Well, the Jets have a lot of free agent wide receivers, like a lot.
Well, they got Enunwa. They re-signed Enunwa.
They re-signed Quincy Enunwa, right?
Which is going to look like, I know we talked about it on our other hashtag page.
Yeah.
But that's going to be one of the cheapest signings of free agency when that happens. You're like, oh, they signed him this. Well, they're getting in early. They're getting their money in early.
Right.
They know he's a productive wide receiver. That maybe he has a rapport with Darnold right now already. And Darnold is making friends with his tight end Herndon. Mm-hmm. Okay, running backs as far as like that goes, you got McGuire. I could see them drafting a running back in the second round, high in the second round, and giving him the reins.
Well,
so.
I mean, the wide receiver position, as I just mentioned, Jermaine Kearse is an unrestricted free agent.
Yes.
So you have to just assume he's gone.
Yeah.
Andre Roberts is likely gone. Rashard Matthews likely gone. Robbie Anderson's a restricted free agent, so they're going to make him a qualifying offer. But honestly, if they put like a third round on him, I mean, other teams might take him. He's a little bit of a character problem.
You know who might go?
Who?
Devontae Parker.
No. Why would he follow him?
Familiarity.
Yeah, but Parker was terrible in Miami.
He was never.
Do you think that's on Tannehill?
I think it's on Tannehill. I think
I disagree.
Gase may say to himself, listen, if anything, I need somebody who knows my offense to talk to these wide receivers. If you're bringing in a lot of young ones,
yeah, all right, I can get on board with that.
That's one way. The other thing is this: if he was never tabbed as the guy, he was always kind of hurt a little bit. Things didn't happen. He had Amendola with him. He had Stills, who was taking away the deep threat. Listen, we're going to feature you.
Okay, you can sell me on that.
This is what we're going to do. But he's not going to get a top contract. He'll get more than Enunwa, but he won't get a top one.
Okay. All right, you can sell me on that. That's fine.
All right, because we talk about familiarity all the time. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, the Jets aren't in a bad spot from a talent perspective. There's way worse teams. Like Bruce Arians down in Tampa. Oh, boy. That is his type of team because they are all old. The whole team is old. I don't know how he's going to deal with Jameis Winston. I have to imagine that Arians coming in, Winston is on his way out.
He could be because Arians, although he's really good at developing quarterbacks, he works better with veterans.
Yeah. Well, that's why Drew Stanton was his backup quarterback for like 6 years.
Yeah.
And he ended up playing almost every season. And every year, he'd go under center, and you're like, how the hell did we end up with Drew Stanton as our backup quarterback? And you're like, oh, that's right. Bruce Arians only likes guys who are almost Medicare, who are almost eligible for Medicare. But the Jets are in a different circumstance than a team like Tampa.
They got a young team. They got a very, that division is going to be wide open next year for the taking. And they can make some noise in the division. They have the number 3 overall pick.
Yeah. Well, and, huge. Miami's defense 2 years ago was one of their strong points. And this year, it was just a disaster. Their defense put Gase on the ropes.
Yeah.
And you had Ryan Tannehill as your quarterback. What are you going to do?
Tannehill only played in half the games. Yeah. You're going to tell me not many offensive coordinators, let alone head coaches, will be successful if your starting quarterback, who you extended, that's why he brought in Brock Osweiler. He had familiarity with Osweiler, and Osweiler ended up dropping down. So, as far as that goes, you look in the division, you got Tom Brady, who you always have to get to.
Yeah.
You have Josh Allen,
who you need to get to.
And then you have insert name, maybe Tannehill down there. So the Jets
playing in Miami.
So the Jets, in a very defensive heavy draft, picking number 3, are in a very, very good position to get one of those guys, whoever falls to them, to be either inside presence or outside presence that puts fear in the defenses, who Gregg Williams would love to work with. Yeah. You want to endear yourself to the team, Williams is going to endear himself to the team.
Yep.
If you as Gase want to endear yourself to Williams, which I know sounds silly, you're the head coach, and you want to endear yourself to a defensive coordinator.
Right.
Well, if you don't control the team, you're not going to do anything.
Right. Yeah.
You get who he wants in your first pick.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. Williams is going to be the linchpin to that locker room. I think you gotta buy him in.
Yeah.
Right. If you can get him a pass rusher, Go get him a pass rusher, because this team is not going to make noise on offense right away. Right? It's their defense that's going to keep them in football games in the beginning part of the season.
I think they're going to get very creative offensively.
They have to. They have to. They have playmakers. They have playmakers, but they don't have great offensive line.
No.
The Jets are also in a position to trade back to get some help on that offensive line. But I mean, they made a lot of investments in the secondary the last couple of years, and that defense could be very strong. And with Gregg Williams there, that defense could drive that car, to a significantly better record.
Yeah, I agree. Which doesn't bode well for us.
No. I hate going against Gregg Williams' defenses. I hate them.
Because they're so damn unpredictable.
Yeah, it's just nonstop. He's rushing 7, the next play he rushes 2.
It's like playing somebody in Madden and they already beat you by 21 points. 21-point rule, and they're like, let's keep playing to the fourth quarter. And all of a sudden they hang three-digit score on you. Leave me alone. You 4 pick sixes. Leave me alone.
But this is Gregg Williams, like what, 9th team? 8th team? I think it's like his 8th or 9th.
You saying he's the coaching equivalent of Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's funny. That's good.
That's funny because that's a Jets joke too.
Yep. You're welcome.